Take you guys up until 2. Miss any of the show, you get the Tobin and Leroy podcast on some platforms. How's it going, Frog Boy? Did you fix it yet?
So, let me tell you the loop they've sent us on.
Mm-hmm.
They've deemed that it was a local issue, and then locally deemed that it was a corporate issue, and then corporate escalated it twice, and no one has responded.
What does escalated to mean?
Like various people have contacted me saying, the problem has been escalated to me. And I'm like, I don't know who you are.
What the hell does that mean, escalated?
I don't know. Like, it went from a normal
That means it's like been handed up to an actual person who can help?
Hopefully.
So have any of these people helped?
Dude,
no one's helped yet.
Fix it, dude. I want the podcast fixed. Yeah. I got people bothering me every single day, and it won't get fixed.
Yeah, you know what's amazing?
So sorry. Yeah.
It's amazing how many different people have to comment on this before somebody works on it.
Ridiculous.
It's like,
should be done in a day. Ridiculous. Anyway. Boom.
It's like, it's baffling to me how sometimes you work in a building that spends more time avoiding work than actually fixing.
How quick could it be to fix that? 2 seconds?
Right.
3 seconds?
But here's like, it's like when you need something fixed right here. Like, I could be looking at the person that could help me in 2 seconds, and they go fill out a ticket and I have to wait until tomorrow.
Ridiculous.
Like it's torture.
Anyway, headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
You were saying the Dolphins signed some people, Leroy?
Yes, they signed a running back and a linebacker. Let me look here. Anthony McFarland is running back, and linebacker Daquan Jackson.
All right.
Just need bodies.
Need bodies. If you guys missed earlier, River Craycraft is going to miss time, weeks of time with an upper body injury. Cam Smith is week to week with a hamstring injury. According to Barry Jackson, David Long is fine, so that's good.
Right.
And Chris Brooks is in concussion protocol.
Okay.
Which sucks because he had a great run.
Oof.
Yep.
So there you go.
Well, one of the things that I just read something.
What?
Colt McCoy is retiring from football. I'm like, he's been retired for like 5 years.
Was he on a roster last year?
Yeah.
Who was he on?
I don't know.
I need to know.
He was a professional backup.
If we had Colt McCoy, would that make everybody feel better than Mike Smith, Mike White, and Skylar Thompson? He was not on a roster last year, but he did play the year before that. He was on the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
For a couple of seasons. Cardinals, Giants, Washington, San Francisco, and started his career in Cleveland.
You know what's amazing? You know when fans say, like during the draft, we need to draft this guy. We need to draft this guy. We need to draft this guy.
Yep.
When those guys suck and your team drafts somebody else and that guy ends up flourishing, do you ever come back and say, whoo, what's wrong on that one?
I don't know.
I know you don't. You finagle your way out of anything.
Well, this starts.
You said some of the craziest stuff ever.
I mean, you could look at the 2008 draft if we wanted to go to like the Heat, and they drafted Michael Beasley. Like, Kevin Love was better, Russell Westbrook was better, so they missed. But still makes me happy.
Oh, what about?
I totally missed with that.
What about even drafting what's the name over Book?
Justice Winslow. Yeah, it's a whiff.
That is a big whiff.
It's a
because
whiff.
Here, think about this. Let's play this out. If they had Book, you wouldn't have Tyler Hero.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He lost a lot early in his career.
That don't mean nothing. He wasn't with the Heat.
What do you mean?
He wasn't here. He was there.
No, I know, but I don't know. Who knows how it goes? Who knows?
He's a bona fide scorer.
He is a bona fide scorer, but
under all conditions.
Leroy, they lost a lot. Like there was no jump like there was with like the Wolves with Anthony Edwards.
Well, I mean, Anthony Edwards also, they had Karl Anthony Towns.
Who cares? They had the number 1 pick with Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
Stunk after Jimmy Butler left.
And then they traded for
Gobert. Yeah.
Like, I don't
Um,
understand how that guy keeps making. I mean, they traded for him like they were trading for Michael Jordan.
yeah, they ruined the trade market.
Yep.
So, want to get to this. So we talked a little bit last hour about the Stephen Ross comments about his Super Bowl. He thinks the Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders if healthy. Mike McDaniel, he was asked about this. Do you want to hear what Mike McDaniel had to say?
Sure.
Here's Mike McDaniel on Stephen Ross's expectations of being a Super Bowl contender if healthy.
Mike, during the game, the team owner, Stephen Ross, was interviewed by CBS. And among the things he said, if we stay healthy, we're certainly a contender for the Super Bowl. Do you like those types of comments?
Absolutely. I think that means I think from a team perspective, a lot of times people are I don't know, hesitate to talk about goals, in case you don't achieve them. I don't really operate that way. There's a lot of steps before that, so I don't think, necessarily it's on our guys' minds right now, because our goals are creating our standard and then winning the next game, and then you try to do the division, and then you try to win the conference, and you try to win the Super Bowl. So, but I like the building, and including the owner having the mindset of, let's be bold, don't be afraid of anything. We're going to compete, and that I think that brings out the best in people. I'm excited that he, I think that means he believes in the program, right?
Oh my God. No.
Okay.
I just saw the 66-yard field goal.
Yeah.
It must be noted.
Yep.
He hit the net.
Crazy.
So he not just dribbled it over. He hit the net.
What do you make of Mike McDaniel? What do you think he's going to say? No expectations,
But
boss.
but here it's
Please, simmer down.
But here, I hate when people don't hear what somebody is saying and they jump to their own. He said, I feel that we are contenders, right? Which is what every other team would say at this time. He didn't say.
I don't think the Panthers are saying that.
He didn't say.
It better not be.
Carolina Panthers.
He didn't say.
Florida Panthers champions.
He didn't say, I expect to do this, this, and this, or I have expectations. He didn't say any of that. So everybody's taking this comment and making it sound like the owner has expectations. That is not what he said.
He does have expectations.
He
though.
does, but that's not what he said. He said we should be contenders.
Semantics.
No, it's not. It is what it is. That's the problem I have with this, is that we take it for what we want so we can make this big story out of it. And guess what? He felt that way last year, and he said so. That, hey, I felt if we were healthy last year, we would have contended. That doesn't mean win. He didn't say I expect to get to a certain point.
I am curious about this. What do you consider a contender? How many teams do you consider a contender? 6?
Let me see. Here's also the problem. What happens if you have 2 contenders in one conference and 7 contenders in the other?
Yep.
You
AFC's a
see
lot
what-
tougher.
Right.
Yep.
So I would say, let's go to NFC. I'm going to say, you got to say the Eagles.
Yep.
And San Fran.
Detroit.
Maybe Green Bay,
Maybe Green Bay.
Meh.
I'm not sold on their quarterback. He played for 3 minutes.
but maybe Green Bay.
Maybe Green
Maybe.
Bay. So that's 4. Now, let's go to the other side.
What about Dallas?
Dallas contenders? Yes.
I say Dallas over Green Bay.
They win 12, 13 games every year.
He's all in.
You can't say they get hot for a month.
Is anybody in the NFC South a contender?
Who?
Saints, Bucks, Falcons.
Nope.
Contenders.
Keep it moving.
Rams.
Rams.
What?
Contender.
Rams are going to be good.
Contender.
Why are they going to be good?
Because they're always good. Unless they
Contender
get
or
hurt.
sneaky contender?
No, contender.
Okay, so that
No
gives
Aaron
us
Donald. Remember that.
2,
That's true.
4, and only 1 in the East. Oh, or 2 in the East.
What?
NFC East. You're going Eagles and Cowboys?
I'm gonna do Cowboys, even though, like, we're
So
not
give me
saying who. I'm
6
saying
contenders.
I'm saying contenders. Being that, like, if you win 12, 13 games every year, I gotta consider it. I'm not gonna say you win 12, 13 games, but I don't take you serious
Why not?
because you won 12, 13 games. That's why. Like, contender. I'm not saying gonna win, but I'm saying at the end of the season, when you say this team
If you
has
make the playoffs,
this team has 12, 13 wins. What if they're the 1
but
seed?
not all playoff teams are contenders.
I mean, have a chance.
And I'm not even talking about the bump.
But I'm saying, if you get in the playoffs, why can't you be a contender?
Okay, so you got 6 teams in the NFC. You're
Right.
very gracious.
No,
I think it's
okay.
half
Tell
that.
me who. Okay, go. You tell me who.
I go Eagles,
Okay, who had a worse collapse than the Dolphins did last
True.
year?
but
Okay.
I'm giving them the benefit
Okay.
of that.
Oh,
Because
you
they
okay,
were
wait.
because they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
You get to get
They were in the
benefits
Super
of
Bowl
the
2 years ago.
Hey,
Wow. They were in the Super Bowl 2 years
you
ago.
said the Rams won it, and
Yeah.
you didn't say they. I don't
Different.
get that.
Different.
You see
Washed.
what I mean? Listen to this guy. You're the worst.
Washed.
You are the worst.
There has a
No more
there's
Aaron
been
Donald.
a bigger turnover.
Yeah, no more Aaron Donald.
No more
Okay,
Jalen
anyway.
Ramsey.
They don't have Kelsey though.
Hold on.
Ooh,
Keep going back. So
That's
you're
okay.
you're throwing out.
yeah, I can.
Who'd you throw out? You
Throwing out the Cowboys.
throwing out the
throwing 'em out.
Cowboys. Okay.
Packers. Get them out of here.
I think I'm throwing out the Lions.
Whoa!
So you're throwing out the Lions.
But they eat kneecaps.
Nah.
Throwing out the Lions. Keep going. Hold on.
They
And I'm
cut it.
throwing out the Rams.
The Rams.
Oh, you gotta throw out the Rams for sure.
Throwing them out.
So you're throwing out the Cowboys, the Rams,
And the
Mhm.
Lions.
and the Lions.
So you're
Yep.
saying San Francisco,
Green
Detroit,
Bay.
and
No.
Green Bay.
San Francisco,
sorry,
Green Bay, Philadelphia.
and Philly. Yes.
I cannot believe
Philly.
That-
Green Bay.
you would take
Hmm?
Detroit out of it, but leave Philly in.
Why?
Why Philly? Green Bay is not the one you're confused about.
Saquon. They got
Ooh,
weapons.
They do got weapons.
Weapons.
They do
They had
got
weapons last year, and they went on an epic collapse.
I don't like Sirianni. Like, he is a worse
Oh,
coach.
well,
than
that
Cam.
counts. That all
That
counts.
guy's a cancer.
All right, two contenders. I take out the Eagles.
All right. Now,
So I'm down to Green Bay
Now-
and San Francisco.
now
Wow.
let's go.
AFC.
AFC. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now.
The West.
Ravens.
No, no,
Hold
no.
on.
Let me just do division by
Division,
division.
division.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
do this radio style.
Yeah.
The West.
I hate radio style.
I
like
love
just
radio
like
style.
the Leroy Jenkins.
Uh,
Right?
The
Like,
West.
the-
Kansas City, obviously.
Yes, of course. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm sure they're grateful that you included them.
Raiders, Broncos, Chargers.
Huh?
Raiders, Broncos, Chargers. Any of them?
Nah. Can't do it.
I think the Chargers will make the playoffs, but no.
Not a
Okay.
contender.
Not a contender.
Right. Because I don't trust
All right,
Justin.
so they
Herbert.
got one.
I don't trust Justin. Herbert.
The South.
Ooh.
Jags, Titans, Texans, Colts.
Texans.
Texans are a contender.
Yes, that's it.
That's 2 contenders. The North. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. How many contenders in that division?
That's the toughest division. It has to be.
Ravens and Browns.
Okay.
Two
It's
Browns.
4.
Mm.
All right.
Of course you picked the Browns.
No,
What?
dude,
What?
hold on.
Well, it wasn't me.
Hold on.
Why not the Bengals?
They
Why not the
won.
Bengals?
They won a playoff game
Yeah.
with and started 5 quarterbacks. You don't think that team can support a bad quarterback?
Joe Burrow.
So just get a decent quarterback.
All right. So Ravens, Browns,
Yes.
not the Bengals.
No,
Why?
because they got to prove to me they can protect their quarterback.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, he gonna be miss half the season again.
And then the AFC East.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Dolphins,
Dolphins and Bills. Stop.
No Jets.
Bills.
No.
Okay, so just in fairness, just want to be clear. When we initially did this list, you evened it up. You went 6-6.
Yeah.
You said, well, what if there was a 7-1 and 2 in the other?
Mm.
You want to take that back, or you think it actually is 6-6?
I would
You want to revise your list at all?
I would say it's 6-4.
All right. So you do think 10 contenders, 10 teams can win the
Yes.
Super Bowl?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Keep in mind, you haven't seen anybody play yet. So you can't make any assumptions about anybody. All you have is what you've seen. Right? So I don't know why in the hell, after the collapse they had, with your home team having the same collapse, you'd be more inclined to pick the Eagles to be a contender.
Mhm. Something went on there.
They had a worse collapse than the Dolphins.
Who did?
The Eagles.
Agreed.
And you still.
Not much worse.
Yes, worse.
Not much worse.
Okay, but
Did they beat
here's
the
why.
Dolphins? I think
Here's
they beat
why.
the Dolphins, right?
Look at the division they played in.
Yeah.
So they played the Giants and the Redskins.
Okay. So the Dolphins played the Jets, who had Tim Boyle as quarterback, and they played the Patriots. Like, okay, it wasn't a murderer's row the Dolphins went against either.
Yeah.
All right.
Eagles lost to the Baker-led Bucks.
Eagles beat the Dolphins last year.
So you think 10 teams are a contender?
Yeah, contender.
Wow, everyone.
I'm
gets a
not
Super
like
Bowl.
if I had
you
to
get a Super Bowl.
Wait,
you
no,
get
no,
a
no.
Super Bowl. You
do you understand? There's been wild card teams that gone to the Super Bowl, right?
I happened once.
No, it did not. Go look and see how many times a wild card team has made the Super Bowl. So, like,
You want Tua's thoughts on the Stephen Ross's comments?
no, I don't.
Jesus.
Marcos, do you want
How
Tua's
many
thoughts?
times?
I need to hear. Okay.
How many times?
I'll give him the stat. Since 1970,
Hmm?
it's happened 10 times.
That's
1970.
one. That's that won the Super Bowl.
Did the wild card exist in 1970?
That's
No, made it. This is just made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, 10 have made it. 6 have
yeah,
won.
but they didn't have a wild card till like 1980.
70. It says the wild card system began in 1970.
Okay,
And
So
10
only-
have made it?
to
10
the
have
Super
made it.
Bowl.
And how many have won?
I'm sorry. 6.
6.
Yeah.
Alright.
So
Last one. Tampa
How many
Bay.
Super Bowls have there been?
Ooh.
53, 54.
All right, so one every 5
No,
years.
57. This will be 57.
One every 6 years.
Tampa Bay Bucks in 2020 were the last ones to do it.
Mhm.
Before that, it was Leroy's favorite team, the Green Bay Packers, in 2010.
Oof. Oh, that was a good run.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did everything on the
that
road.
was in New Orleans.
That was a good run.
Give me Tua and his reaction to Stephen Ross saying, "Do it or else you bums."
is that exactly? I don't think he said that, but okay, yeah. No,
During the game, the CBS broadcast, they interviewed the team owner, Stephen Ross, and he said, if we stay healthy, we're certainly a contender for the Super Bowl. I don't know if you knew that he said that, but
No.
what are your thoughts on those remarks?
What are your thoughts? You think so?
Contender? Yeah, I think there's about 10 teams that have a chance.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, you just said contender. I think there's 10 teams. Are the Dolphins one of the 10 teams?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah. I would say that's the reason
Way
we
to
play
flip
this game.
it.
If none
Good
of us
job,
have the
Tua.
belief that we can do it, it won't happen for us on our team. So, of course, we have that belief.
Wow.
I did like that.
Well handled.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
again,
I didn't like
but
how
do you see how they like? There's a difference in it being a contender
Mhm.
and having expectations. Like you took the same phrase and tried to say, "Oh, the owner should have expectations, all the money." That's not what happened.
No, see, you did the difference.
No, I didn't.
You took teams with expectations and you made them all contenders. I don't think
Wow.
they're all contenders.
So go.
So
You
I get to
only-
go.
You tell me
I got 2 NFC contenders.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
AFC.
Mm,
Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll allow it.
all right.
There is not a contender in the South.
No.
Not a contender.
You don't
Whoa,
think
whoa,
you
whoa,
don't
whoa,
think
whoa,
you
whoa,
don't
wait.
think that the
Houston?
Texans
Houston,
have it?
yeah.
No,
Not a
No,
contender.
what are they gonna-
huh?
Not a contender.
Damn.
there you go.
Okay.
Welcome to their top resident at 2 Cuteville.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna ask because on paper they seem to be talented. Quarterback position seem to have good leadership.
Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah.
Too soon.
Too
That,
soon.
Too soon.
'cause
Really?
You know what? You're right.
You know
Not
who
a
they said
contender.
that about?
Who?
Tom Brady when he went to Super Bowl.
That's fine. Not everybody's Tom Brady. He doesn't get to.
Okay, but you didn't
he
know
doesn't
that.
always get to
But-
throw the
but
rules
you
of
didn't- you
Tom
didn't-
Brady.
Wait,
at
wait,
me.
wait.
He had to
You-
deal with the devil and he
But you
cheated.
didn't know that at the time.
Okay. Well, right now I'm predicting not a contender. Too soon. All right. They're not on my list.
Didn't Dan Marino go his first year?
Not on the list, Leroy.
All right.
It's my list. You had your time. You had your time.
Wait.
What about my time?
It's true.
Marcos,
Yeah.
when I gave my list, he said, "No." Did he not? I'm giving my list. He go, no, not even close. That's you heckled my list. How you gonna heckle my list and then say my list? Oh my god!
The
All right,
North.
no one from the
What,
South.
what
no
a
one from the South.
whiny baby!
The King of the North.
King of the North.
Ravens. That's the only contender.
Only
Okay.
Ravens.
Only the
No one
Ravens.
has faith in the Bengals.
I don't have faith in Deshaun Watson.
even though Lamar, but see, that's my point.
I don't have faith. in him.
If and this is why I said this.
Steelers got
If
better, too.
Lamar Jackson plays average
Mhm.
and they're consistent, have the same quarterback all year,
Mhm.
they're better than they were last year.
Mhm.
They won a playoff game for God's sake. They started 5 different quarterbacks. They did the same thing the Jets did.
Who did they beat in the playoff game?
Talk about the Browns?
Pittsburgh? No, was it
Talking
Pittsburgh?
about the Browns?
Yeah.
Not a contender.
Okay. but you understand. They had the same circumstances as
They can have expectations.
they had the same
They got dusted by the Texans in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say.
in the
I
first
thought-
week?
I thought Joe Flacco.
That was
killed
2
them.
years
Or
ago.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
like,
45 to 14.
Here's the deal.
let me ask you.
Wait,
Route.
they had the same situation as the Jets.
Hmm?
And look at how those two teams went about it.
Hmm.
So you can't tell me that if they have just average play. Same thing the Jets are saying. The Jets say, hey, Aaron Rodgers has got to be better than the stiffs we had last year.
You guys, maybe you'll become a contender, but from the outset, not a contender.
Okay.
You can still become a contender. You win a big fight, all of a sudden you're content. Dan Hooker, he was ranked 11th, and then he beat the number 5 guy. He's back to top 5 contender.
Okay.
So you can become a contender.
Keep going. Keep going with your list.
Okay. AFC East.
Yeah.
Jets,
Uh-huh.
not a contender.
Oh, look at that. You got me with the swerve.
It's not-
Tricked me.
Bills,
Yeah.
not a contender.
No way.
We know the Patriots aren't a contender.
Fuck it.
Dolphins,
Hmm?
Stephen Ross said it. They're a contender.
Contender,
So
baby.
my question is
That's
this.
a good call.
Can you say somebody's not a contender when they've won the division the last 5 times?
Time's up.
But
Time's up.
you're assuming that.
You're right.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but there's no games to be played. That's all I can do. All I can do is assume.
So was that 3 or 4 AFC teams? I think I counted 3.
3,
Yeah.
which is more than the NFC where I had 2. But I'm more of a man than everybody else. You know, I'm going to narrow it down to just. I'm going to narrow it down.
Yikes. Will away.
And I didn't like how I think that was Joe Shat asking the question when Tua threw it back at him. I didn't like how he waffled on contender.
Yeah, kind of hesitated.
Like he
there, huh?
hesitated. Joe, what do you think? You think you're contender? Yeah, can you play that again? Because he got it when Tua threw it back at him. He was like we almost hurt. It was almost like he stubbed his toe.
During the game, the CBS broadcast, they interviewed the team owner, Stephen Ross, and he said, if we stay healthy, we're certainly a contender for the Super Bowl. I don't know if you knew that he said that, but
No.
what are your thoughts on those remarks?
What are your thoughts? You think so?
Contender? Yeah, I think there's about 10 teams that have a chance.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you just said contender. I think there's 10 teams. Are the Dolphins one of the 10 teams?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah. I would say that's the reason we play this game. If none of us have the belief that we can do it, it won't happen for us on our team. So, of course, we have that belief.
See, I feel like you need to have a new game instead of contender pretender, which is a radio classic. You need contender. Because it kind of gets high pitched out there, like you got like the squeaky cheeks. Contender. Got a little high
During the
there.
game, the CBS broadcast, they interviewed
He's-
Stephen
Where
Ross,
the hell is
and
Belichick?
he said, if we stay healthy, we're
don't
certainly
know.
a
Looks like
contender
you're
for the
fucking
Super
looking at a
Bowl.
crack
I don't know if you knew that he said that, but what are your thoughts on those remarks?
What are your thoughts? You think so?
And Tua's like, what do you think?
Tua
buddy?
just called the audible. He goes, "What do you think?"
What do you think? You tell me. I like that, though. That's something he definitely wouldn't have done those first 2 years under Flores.
Flip it back on you.
Yeah. Like, what do you think, buddy? Champ,
I mean, look,
pal.
I just like it's like he was like almost like Ron Burgundy when they put the question mark in the teleprompter. He goes, "I'm Ron Burgundy." Damn it! Who put that question mark there? Anything you put in there, Burgundy will read.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
but yeah, so while we sitting here, like being a contender is not like
We can't hang on the. There's no banner.
technically
There's
every
no contender ring.
technically every
Yeah, I think there's
team that
about
makes
10
playoffs
teams that have a chance.
as a contender. You
Yeah.
made the postseason playoff.
Yeah. The Heat were not
I
a
mean, you
contender.
just said contender.
By the end,
By the end of what? The season? No.
Contender?
contender.
You still said Heat and 5.
Of course. I really felt good after game 2.
Yeah.
Man, I was an idiot.
How'd you
Record
feel?
breaking.
How'd you feel after game 3?
Not good.
Same way I felt after every other game.
Not good.
Not good at all.
But this year,
Oh,
look out.
yeah.
So-
Windhorst says we're going to killer Jimmy Butler.
Here. So I would say there's 3 or 4 teams that are going to be terrible.
I think there's 10
Yep.
teams.
There's
Are
probably
the Dolphins one of the 10 teams?
15 to 20
You think so?
teams that are going to be in the middle of the pack, could fluctuate one or the other way with a couple of wins here and there. Like, you're going to be pretty close. And there's going to be 8 to 10 teams that right, are gonna.
There's more teams that are going to be in the middle than there are. Like you'll have the same amount of contenders as you have terrible teams.
Correct. Right.
Like,
Right.
It might be as hard to pick. We should do this game again and be like awful. Okay.
Contender.
I mean, so we are making an assumption that Carolina's going to have the number 1 pick,
Kind,
if
yeah.
not the Giants.
Ooh. Can I interest you
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know of not one player they have.
Kyler Murray.
I mean, but he's,
Yeah, other
Besides
than him,
Kyler Murray.
other
Well,
than
they
him,
just
I'm
drafted Harrison Jr.
Marvin
Oh,
Harrison
they did.
Jr.
Yes,
They have
that's
Marvin
right.
Harrison Jr.
Wow.
Right.
So a rookie that they drafted this year is the only other player we know.
I don't know, but the last time we played fantasy football, Leroy drafted like 4 Cardinals.
That's right.
He was really into the
Because
Cardinals.
no, I thought they would always play catch up.
We'll take a break. Back after this.